on speaker number 1 from Team A, Toastmaster Ganesh Pillai, to open the debate.
Respected judges, moderators, and my fellow Toastmasters, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Welcome on board to our flight. We wish you a safe and pleasant journey. We all have travelled by plane, and we all are safe and sound. I want you to think about that. Airplanes are definitely the safest means to travel, and here's why. CNN conducted a global study on the safest mode of travel. Here are the results showing the number of deaths per billion miles traveled. Motorcycles, 217 deaths. Cars and trucks, 5.75 deaths. Railways, 0.47 deaths. Bus, 0.14 deaths. Planes, only 0.06 deaths per billion miles. Numbers don't lie. And this is hard evidence that categorically proves that airplanes are the safest mode to travel. As per Investopedia, only one of 1 million flights might crash. This shows the advanced technology being used in aviation industry to keep you safe. Advancement in technology have made the airplanes smarter in terms of radar systems, communication, and checking the weather conditions. Pilots go through rigorous training. They have to do a lot of certifications. There are some ex-Air Force men who ride planes. As a pilot, you are in the most regulated profession in this world. Compared to other modes of transport, all these training measures goes to show that safety is taken seriously. Safety is taken very seriously in the airplane industry. Also, no one helps you to watch the road when you are riding on the road. But with respect to aeroplanes, there are many eyes for the pilot. There is air traffic control. There are ground staff. They track the planes on the sky. They give instructions, clearance, information, and information about the flight condition. Your pilots are not the only people in charge of your safety. There is an entire system to take care of the safety. So, in a nutshell, the result of the study done by CNN, the development in the aviation technology, and the rigorous training given to the pilots shows that airlines are the safest mode of transport. In fact, once an airline pilot, after landing his plane, told his passengers on the intercom, the safest part of a trip is over now. Over to you now.
Famous inventor Alexander Graham Bell has said, there are two critical points in every aerial flight, its beginning and its end. Oh, the flight is about to land. I have to meet my loved ones. Touch your heart and say, haven't you all felt like that at one point of time before the flight lands? If somebody says against that one, then it means that they are not speaking from their heart. Good morning to one and all.
Good morning.
What is the probability of survival in an air crash accident? Probably a big zero. Think about the ill-fated air flight 370 which took off from Kuala Lumpur on March 8, 2014. Till date, the whereabouts of the passengers are unknown. A similar flight which took off from Amsterdam on July 17, 2014 was brought down while flying over the Ukraine region, and all of the passengers and the crew were dead. On June 1, 2009, a similar flight which took off from Brazil en route to Paris was found missing when it was flying across the Atlantic Ocean. What does this thing say? Your chance of survival in an air crash or an air accident is completely zero. This is what IATA, International Air Traffic Association, also confirms through their statistics. Not only the above, think about the long-lasting or small incidents or health hazards which comes during an air travel. One of my close friends is suffering from DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis, and the reason was identified for his frequent long flight travel with restricted movement and breathing air in an enclosed atmosphere for prolonged periods of time. We consider babies equal to God, aren't we? Why do babies cry during a takeoff? Because the air pressure in the flight decreases when it takes off. The small babies are aware of the ill hazards in when going in a flight. We forget all these things because we are all running fast to reach what? I don't know what we are going to achieve. Looking at all these statistics, and one more small example. In an aeroplane, you are in the hands of the pilot. A pilot is a human, and the error is human. A pilot is also a human. With all these traffic controls, air traffic controls, all the possibilities of computerized modern technology, even with all these things, if a pilot makes an error, your mortal remains will not even reach your loved ones. You want to see that? If you feel that, then you can say whatever you want. So that is why our team, my fellow teammates, feel that air traffic or air travel is not the safest mode of travel. So looking at this, in the next time when you take up a flight, remember carefully, your life is not in your hands. So friends, considering all the above facts of statistics, human error, possibilities, health hazards and all, we feel very strongly that aeroplane travel is not the safest mode of travel anymore.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We know, you all would agree, it is better to crash into a nap than nap into a crash. My opponents said that air traffic technology has advanced, statistics, pilots are trained. I would like to touch upon all these points. The question is not how the technology is advanced, but the issue is how safe are you traveling in an airplane? So, you all agree? No, airplanes are not the safest to travel. Statistics, let me talk about some statistics. How many number of aircrafts are there in the world? Less than 50k. Out of it, 38,000 plus is only registered and active. How many number of cars are there in the world? 1.2 billion. My fellow opponent said, the percentage is very less. The percentage of flights are very less. Percentage of travelers are very less in airplane compared to other means of transportation. Advanced technology, I would touch upon. Advanced technology. Technology has done too much. Radars, air traffic controller, everything. What about the Malaysian aircraft which is disappeared from the world? What happened to that family? We all went along with them, but what happened to that? What technology can bring back that aircraft? Nothing. Technology. Technology can control the trajectory of flight, but any person who is standing on the ground can bring down a flight. Which technology can control that? Let's take recent examples of Ukraine flight. Let's take examples of Egyptian flight. The flight came down in Egypt. Were there a lack of technology there? No. It was a person who is completely outside of the influence. He thought one fine day, oh, let me bring down the flight down. What happened to the passengers? Was it a safety mean for the passengers to travel? No. On the road. Let's talk about the pilot training. How many hours of pilot training is happening before a commercial flight is taken off? Too much, yes. What happened to the pilot who crashed his flight on the Alps mountain? That moment he decided, I'm going to crash this flight. So, all the passengers, let us all pray to Lord before taking every flight. Let me see my family members happily. Pilots' errors, statistics, advanced technology. That's not fact. Fact is, your destiny is not in your hand. Your destiny is in the hand of a pilot or two. If they decide in a moment, I'm going to crash this flight, it's crashed. But a driver make a mistake, what is the probability? The probability is very less. In an air crash accident, your life is for sure. With all these points, I would like to say, my fellow Toastmaster Karthik said, airplane travel is not the safest in the world. Thank you. Over to you.
Skyline College. You know the venue is supporting our youth. Thank you, Division Director. Thank you very much. And we are Pentair Club, always up in the air, locked in on our target. Respected judges and audience, good morning to you all. Good morning. Today, I observed 4 appalling flaws which completely dismantles our positions argument. And I will walk you through each and every one of these flaws. Number one is rhetoric and conjecture. Our worthy opponents from Dune's Toastmasters, they made several statements without backing them up with facts and figures. Few examples are feeling afraid when a flight lands, babies crying when planes take off, and saying that your destiny is in your own hands. All these are pure rhetoric. They're not backed up with any facts and figures. So how do we believe them? Rhetoric is like a cloud in the sky. It is there, and then it is not there, and then only you are there. Just like sand dunes do. So arm yourself with facts, not fears. Moving on, flawed logic is the second flaw which I observed. They stated that chances of survival is probably zero. What is probably? Quantified. Saying that does not mean that airplanes are not the safest way to travel. They said that they had a friend who had a deep vein thrombosis and this was diagnosed due to frequent flying. This also does not mean if airplane is the safest way to travel or not. They also said that if a pilot makes an error, the remains will not be found. This is also not pointing out to the fact that airplanes are the safest way to travel. So flawed logic, my dear friends. And then plane crash examples, the recent examples which all of you have seen. With due respect to the loss of lives that occurred and also to the dying argument of our opponents, the recent plane crashes of Malaysia Airlines, Ukraine and Brazil, all these are isolated events. You need to understand that the motion here is airplanes are the safest way to travel. So to draw a parallel, you have to look at the operating word as is safest. That means you have to give a comparative study between the different modes of transport. If you just take isolated incidents of events which have happened in the recent past, most of which has been sensationalized to garner TRP ratings for the television channels. You cannot say that these isolated events, with due respect to the loss of life and to the dying argument once again, you cannot say that they go on to prove that airplanes are the safest way to travel. So definitely not. So in a nutshell, rhetoric, flawed logic, and recent plane crash examples, and lack of a comparative study ensure that their flight did not take off today and stayed in the dunes.
Scars of others should teach us a lesson. Good morning, everyone in here. They say that air travel is the safest mode of transport. If you think so, I think you should all be forgiven. Having the fact that all those aircraft incidents which had recently happened, the disappearance of MH370, the AirAsia flight, the recent accident of Russian Airlines, we can list a few. We don't know what happened to these. To the larger picture, the catastrophic impact it had in America as well as the larger world. September the 9/11. How can we forget those images, those aircrafts smashing against the towers? Still you believe that air travel is the safest? I don't think so. My team has brought in all the facts, the statistics and reasons to believe that air travel is not the safest. My team also put to you the facts that the health hazards and the safety requirements, what are the ill effects while traveling in the air. The recent reports, the IATA reports, also clearly explains that air travel is not the safest. However, the planes are designed for more safer things, but the contrary is happening. We are all under the tremendous pressure and the tension and the risk involved while the takeoff, the maneuvers, and the descent as well. Therefore, my dream has proven beyond doubt that air travel is not the safest travel in the world. Over to you.
Master Manoj Rangarajan to summarize and close.
Hello Toastmasters, let me introduce myself. I am a mechanical engineer from an IIT who has worked in Airbus, aircraft manufacturing company. And trust me when I say this, aircrafts are the safest way to travel. To prove this, our fellow team member has put forward the point, the statistics from CNN. It is very crucial because it's the latest, it's taken from this year, and it is conducted by a reliable source, this CNN. And the study shows, takes all the modes of transport under account, and they are presented. And our conclusion is the airlines are the safest way to travel. Secondly, he has also pointed out that pilots have gone through a vigorous training. It's not a one person who is riding a vehicle. There are other support systems, co-pilots, cabin crew members, technical ground staffs, and other surveillance team. These all people help together to ride an aircraft. And on top of that, the airplanes can be completely auto-driven, which acts as an additional support. We have advanced so much in aviation technology. Explaining this, we can go to Mars and return back safely. We can even carry a nuclear device, nuclear weapon in an aircraft. So why are we feeling unsafe in an aircraft? And media is helping too much about aircraft accidents. Still, we hardly hear 1 or 2 accidents in a year. But still, how many road accidents are we hearing in the radio? Every single hour, even just in the UAE. So, I conclude that airplanes are the safest way to travel.